ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 12, verse number 8. Sri Krishna is continuing to reply to Uddhava's question and then explaining how bhakti comes to a living being. So he says that he is controlled by satsanga, and it is through satsanga that many have attained perfection, or many have attained him. Satsangan mam upagata, that they have reached me. And now in this verse number 8, he gives the example of the Vraj people. So this is clear statement here that bhakti is not inside the jiva, but it comes by the grace. That is the implied sense also, because it says satsangat mamata upagata. So in this verse it says kevalena hi bhavena gopyo gavo naga mrigaha yenye mudadhiyo naga siddha mamiyo ranjasa. So he says only by bhava, here means priti or love, that gopis, cows, trees or mountain, the word naga means both mountain or tree, mriga, animals, and others, mudadhiya means ignorant beings like the snakes. They attained perfection and attained me. Siddha mamiyo anjasa. Anjasa means easily, not with great effort, as it was said, na te tenadhit shruti ganano pashita mahattama avrat atapta tapasa. So without doing any austerities or any great things, they attained me, became perfect. So here the one of the point which is to be understood is that if we see maybe their past lives, as the gopis, they were sages, then it may appear that they have done austerities, this, that. The point which is being made is that bhakti is not an effect of any austerity or any study or anything. It comes only from bhakti, which actually comes only by the grace. Because it is a very clear explanation by our acharyas that the Bahiranga Shakti and then Tatastha Shakti and then there is Antaranga Shakti. And because Bhakti is Antaranga Shakti, so it is not in the Jiva, because Jiva is Tatastha Shakti. So therefore it is only by the grace of devotee that it comes. And that devotee gets it from Bhagavan originally, so that is the significance of the parampara. So what is being described is that Krishna is attained only by Priti, and that Priti is his Antaranga Shakti, because only that captures his heart, and that ultimately comes from him. And it is not on anything coming by the effect of anything else. And other paths therefore have to depend on bhakti to get freedom from samsara, because all other processes, they are not part of Antaranga Shakti, therefore they cannot give you freedom from material bondage. So that is the significance here. So tatrapi gopi prabhritinam sarvato api ati vaishishtyamah. So among all the devotees also who have attained Bhagavan, there is a tartamya, there is a gradation. Not that it's like Sahyajya Mukti. There is no gradation in Sahyajya Mukti. It's same. Whoever attains it, there is no difference. But in the other types of Mukti, and then beyond that Priti, there is a gradation. So they are not same. So therefore that he says that among these devotees also who attained Krishna, gopis have some speciality. So therefore he says sarvatopi ati vaishishtyamah, that they are superior to all others. And why they are superior to all others? Because kevalena hi bhavena, that it's only bhava, there is no other mixture. Mixture means some other desire. So even when people are performing bhakti, it may be with some desire that I want to be this, I want to be that. So that is independent desire. You want to be with him or you want something. So this he says kevalena hi bhavena, that their Only Preeti is there. This Preeti is not based on anything else. It's just Preeti is Preeti only. Not that because Krishna is this, Krishna is that, he has this Aishwarya, that Aishwarya. Nothing like that. So that is the meaning of Keval Bhav here. And this is what Gopi Bhav is. So this is something very clearly stated by Krishna himself and then explained by our Goswami. This is also what we studied in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, where Sanatana Goswami is mentioning that the attraction of the gopis is not dependent on anything else. Nam matra priti janita. So it is not even dependent on Krishna's beauty or anything else. It's just priti. This is most ahetuki. So that's why it is sarvatopi ati vaisishtyam. So this is what it has. That is the meaning of Sandrananda Visheshatma. Prem Suryasu Samya Bhak. So Ruchi bhi Chitta Masrinya. So this Chitta Masrinya is this characteristic. Masrinata means that softness of the heart. The heart is just soft, and it is not because of anything else. It's all out of love only. So like mother loves the baby, doesn't matter how the baby, to other the baby may not look beautiful or may not be attractive or this or that, but just there's natural liking for that. So there is Chitta Masrinata. And this is by the Ruchi bhi Chitta Masrinata. So that is the Keval Bhav. Kevalena, so that's why he writes here, Kevalena Jnana Karmadi Amishrena Nishkamena Bhavena. So this Bhava is not mixed by Jnana or Karma. It is not because some knowledge Jnana means that I want freedom from suffering. Or Karma, I want some pleasure, some comfortable situation. So you hear all the time, this is not good, that is not good. You want something, then when that particular thing is satisfied, then you will do bhakti. So that becomes a condition. So this is not mixed by any of these things. So that's why it says niskam. So there is no kamana for anything. Otherwise some condition comes. Otherwise people say, why shall I do seva? Because in the material world we are used to working for some gain. If I am not gaining anything, then why shall I do it? So that's why bhakti is hard. Because here they are saying that you should simply work and don't ask for anything. So it seems like exploitation. If you speak like this to anybody, they think, well, this is a perfect exploitation. This is a brainwash. And Krishna is exploiting everybody.
I mean, this very subtle confusion has been there in me that he will say Ruchi Vischitta Mashrinya. So now this Ruchi, the taste they have or attraction they have, that is bhakti itself we are taking. Now when we define bhakti, we will define it as an action. Yes,
yeah,
seva.
Ruchi means what? Prapti Abhilas, Seva Abhilas and Saurabh.
Oh, okay. So we are taking Ruchi for seva in that sense. So
you
more
want
proper.
to have him for what?
To do seva. Right.
To do seva.
So more
Pleasing. Not
apt.
not for that I will be so happy to be with him.
Got it.
This is what is in the people's
Minds. Correct.
I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be with Krishna, I don't like this, I don't like that. Some people don't like being a gopi, I like Sakha. Sometimes you hear like that. Yeah. So it's not a question of being sakha or this or that. This is to be understood, that it is a bhav. And that bhav is not I want to be this or I want to be that. It is seva bhilas. So sukha is, you are not devoid of sukha, but it is seva sukha. Not independent sukha. Independent sukha will be karma. Karma is independently I want happiness. Jnana is I don't want to work. I want to retire. Sannyas. Sannyas means what? Na niragni na chakriya. Krishna says na niragni na cha akriya. Because sannyas means no fire. I don't even want to cook. I will let others cook. I will bag food and eat. And I don't want to do anything. Akriya.
So the more apt way to put it will be bhavamayi seva is we can define as bhakti. So there bhava anukulyata bhava.
So main thing is bhav, then seva will come naturally out of that.
No, because I see this discussion that seva is an effect of bhava, it is not part of bhakti. Things like this also, that is why.
No, but what will you do with bhav?
I mean, you can just have how you don't.
You are not a pangu. You are not lame. Don't have hands. Bhav is there. You will naturally
do. Yeah, it is
kriya.
part of. Yeah, because when we say anubhava and all this also is all these seva activities are included within. Got it.
So therefore it says Gyan Karmadi Amishrene. No misraj. Gyan Karmadi Anavritam. So Niskamini, he is actually not even saying Anavritam, he says Amishrena. Not even that I am doing it for Lokachar, there is nothing. Complete bhav, keval bhav. So this is very difficult. So Niskamina, Bhavina, Sringara, Vatsalya, Sakhya, Dasya, Bhavshalina. So these are four of them. Sringara, Vatsalya, Sakhya, Dasya. Shant is not included because Shant doesn't do anything. He likes peace. Sit in the corner, don't disturb, leave me alone. So that's not included here. So that bhav just remains bhav only, doesn't turn into prema. So Gopyaha, so now he says who is having which one. So the first one was Kevalayani Bhavena Gopya. So Gopi is there, Sringar Rasena. So you see here he is saying the bhav as rasa. Yeah. So Sringar Rasena. But again people misunderstand Sringar Rasa something else. So the rasa is only in seva. And Gavo Vatsalya Rasena. Kevalaya nahi bhavena Gopyo Gavo. So first Sringar, then Vatsalya, cows, because they give milk like mother. And Naga Govardhanadi Parvata Sankhya Rasena. So Govardhan is the Sankhya Ras, friend, play. So he is doing seva. And Mrigapi Mudhadhiyo Vrindavan Nath Vrindavaniya Tarugul Madhya. And then Mrigapi. So Mrigapi Sakhya Rasena, that is to be understood. That the Mriga, they are also in Sakhya Bhav. And then Mudhya, bewildered or ignorant people are the Vrindavaniya Tarugul Madhya. So trees, creepers of Vrindavan. And Nagaha Kaliyadya, snake. So they are in the Dasya Ras, all of them.
Babaji, this now he is describing Gulmalata also as having rasa. So, I mean, yeah, we can say they have all bhava sharira and they are having chit shakti. But the full spectrum of rasa we cannot see in them. I mean, if you say Sakhya rasa, there are certain, say, anubhavas, say, like playing, fighting, whatever. And we cannot see all that in Govardhan or in Gulmalata like this.
Yeah, obviously.
So, in what sense do we say that when he says rasa? That
Bhav is there because they are conscious beings.
So, more in the sense that they have sthāyi bhava.
Yeah, and then bhav itself can lead to rasa.
Rasa. Yeah, what that? It will suck all the elements.
Yeah. So all other things become manifest. It is not like kavya, that rasa, where everything alankar, this, that have to be there. It is not needed that. Just bhav is enough. So dasya rasena mam iyu. So they attained me in gatav. Atra gopyadyah siddha eva. So now he is, Jiva Goswami says that these gopis were, what was he saying? Agantuka. Gavo api Sri Gopi vad agantukya eva geya. So he said that the gopis here and the cows, they are the agantuki, means they came from outside, means they are sadhan siddhas. That is what he said. And Vishwanath Chakravarti says that they are siddha. Siddha hai. So now the question comes, if they are siddha people, then where is the question that may attained me, mami yu ranjasa? If they are siddha, they have already attained him. So for that he says, purva ragadi anantaram mami yu. So this is in Bhaum Leela. That in Bhaum Leela Krishna takes birth, then gopis, they also take birth. So they attained him again. There is a purva raga. So in that sense, so therefore the word siddha he is using in that sense that they are all siddha and they attained him. And Jiva Goswami says that they become siddha and then attain him. So that way. Kevalena bhavena tesham mat prapti matvam anadito nitya siddhi siddham eveti arthavsiyate. So kevalena bhavena means that there is kevala bhav and then attaining me. So he says that is nitya siddha, anadita eva nitya siddha. It does not have any beginning because there is siddha. Anyatha siddha iti padasya vyartham syat. Otherwise he says, why he is differing from Jiva Goswami's explanation. He says then, otherwise the word siddha does not make sense. Because if he is saying kevalena bhavena mami yuranjasa, why siddha has to be brought there? That keval bhav itself is the siddhi. So therefore he gives a different explanation. Purushottam Prabhu.
Question here, Vrindavan V and then Taru. So V Taru or Taru?
No, there is a printing mistake. It should be Vrindavaniya.
Okay.
Vrindavaniya Tarugul Madhya.
Okay, thank you.
And before that also the word was there, Mrigi api. It should be Mriga, not Mrigi. Roads.
Pranam Babaji. So I was having a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago, and this question came up of whether, so when we talk about the progression of the stages of bhakti, bhava is one of the stages right before prema, and does that bhava always come in a particular type, such as the types described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or is there such a thing as a generic bhava of no particular type? I was defending the view that it always comes in a certain type, but I'm not completely sure.
So what is generic type?
Say again?
What do you mean by generic type?
Like, so like in the Rupa Goswami in the Rasa Shastra gives like such an intricate typology of different kinds of bhava, right? So is there such a thing as bhava that has no type at all?
Yeah, that is called samanya bhava. That is also there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So both are there. There is a samanya bhava, and then there are specific ones.
if someone gets Samanya Bhava and then progresses to Prema, like where do they go? Can they go to Vaikuntha, or like what happens to them?
Yeah, they can go to Vaikuntha, but they just they don't have any specific wish to do any seva, and they don't have any specific relationship with Bhagwan, with Krishna.
Okay.
They're just like normal guys, you know.
Okay. And it's still, that's Samanya Bhava is different than the Bhava that corresponds to Shanta Rasa. There's still a distinction between those two, I guess, right? Or are they the same?
There is some difference.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this. This helps with my conversation. Thank you.
Bhushan.
Babaji, perhaps my father, who also watches the classes, has a question. The question is, the verses from the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 10 and 11, Tesham Sadatayuktanam Bhajati Priti Purvakam, and the one later, Tesham Evanukam Partham. Are this talking about Shuddha Bhakti or Mishra Bhakti?
No, which one? Tesam Jnanamrita.
Tesham Sadatayuktanam Bhajata Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenama Upayantate. And second is Tesham Evanukam Partham Aham Ajnanitam Tamaham
Nashyami Atma Bhavastam Jnanadipena Bhasvata. So what is your question?
Are these two words indicating Shuddha Bhakti, or is it like some kind of a Vishnu Bhakti?
Well, if you see the word Tesam Satatyuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, so it seems like Shuddha Bhakti, because he's using the word Priti.
No, sorry.
Somebody was speaking? Okay. Yamna yogena sankhena.
Babaji, one question. Sorry. Babaji, in the word Siddha, if I correctly understood the two explanations given differently by Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Jiva Goswami is taking as Sadhan Siddha, and he is taking as Nitya Siddha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Yamna yogena sankhena dana vrata tapodhvaraihi vyakhya swadhyaya sannyasai prapnuyad yatnavanapi. So he says Yamna yogena sankhena dana vrata tapodhvari. He says you cannot attain Yam. He is now speaking in as if instead of saying Mama, that they cannot attain that by yoga, sankhya. Dana means charity, vrata, following some rules of religion, and adhara is yajna, and vyakhya, shastric explanation, swadhyaya, study of the Vedas, or sannyas. Prapnuyad yatnavanapi. So they cannot attain him, which means he himself, that Krishna cannot be attained by any of these things, even if one performs them with great effort, yatnavanapi. So that is the meaning, that he is attained only by priti, kevalena hi bhavena, gopyo, gavo, nagamriga. So it's showing that how bhakti is durlabha, not easily attainable, because that is one of the characteristic of bhakti, that it is not found so easily. So kevalasya bhakti yogasya satsanga eva hetu natu sukritantaram kimapi tyaha. So here he says that it is only the satsanga of bhakti yoga which is the reason or hetu or cause of attaining bhakti, not any other sukriti. So sometimes people say that you get bhakti by sukriti. This question is also asked many times, that agyat sukriti. So here he says that no, sukritantaram kimapi na hetu. That no other sukriti, gyat sukriti, agyat sukriti or gyat agyat sukriti, none of this can give you, unless that sukriti is bhakti yoga, then it is different. But not otherwise. Any other type, that swadhyaya, yagya, vyakhya, tapa, vrata, any of these things, they cannot give. Yamiti, yatnavanapi, even if one is making an effort, yogadinam samyag anusthana nirato api. So even if he is performing all this yoga, Sankhya, study of Sankhya, etc., with the proper process, samyag anushthan, whatever is their proper process prescribed in the particular shastra, if it is related with vrata, swadhyaya, then according to the smritis, if it is Sankhya, then prakriti purusa viveka, if it is yoga, then yam niyam asana pranayam dharana dhyan, all that. So he says it is not possible.
Babaji, coming back to the previous verse, the context which is going on here is the mahima of satsang, the importance of satsang, which Krishna is telling Uddhava. So I fail to understand why Sripad Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is bringing, glossing the word Siddha as Nitya Siddha, because the mahima of satsang can only be shown when a person is not Siddha. For a person who is already on the Nitya Siddha platform, there is no need of satsang because he is already Siddha. So here the explanation of Jiva Goswami seems more appropriate. So why, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is...
So then take that one, don't worry. He said already that in the other one the word Siddha seems redundant. Vishwanath Chakravarti said. He said Anyatha Siddha Padam Vyartham Syat. Remember, he said that. So that's why he gave that. Anyatha Siddha iti padasya Vyarthyam Syat.
They can also perform sadhana and by the effect of satsang and become siddha, and then...
So he is saying that even if you don't use that, still you get that meaning.
Okay, so even if the word siddha is not used, even then there
is no harm. So that's why he gives this explanation.
But here Jiva Goswami is writing Yam Bhavam in the commentary. So
okay, so Yam is Bhava.
So for the attainment of Bhava, then we take.
No, okay.
He says Tameva Vyanakti Yamiti Yam Bhavam.
Okay, so Yam is applied to Bhava. Because somebody has, unlike Anvitarth Prakash say Yam Mam. Sridhar Swami also gave that. Yam na prapnuyattam mam. Yeah. So they have given, but one Sridhar is saying Yam Bhavam. He is taking Jiva Goswami's meaning. So he is also showing by Anvaya and Vyatirek, the previous in is one and here is a Vyatirek. So this is also a style to explain something clearly. Now, since he spoke about the gopis, his heart became attracted to gopis. He starts speaking about them. So he will end with the Gopi Bhav. Ramena Sardham Mathura Pranite Swafalkina Maya Anurakta Chittaha Vigada Bhavena Name Viyoga Tivradhayonyam Tadrishu Sukhaya. So he is describing the bhav of the gopis, because as Vishwanath Chakravarti wrote that the bhav of the gopis, some sarvato vaishishtyam, is exceptional to all of them. So that bhav is being described here now. So he says, Ramena Sardham Mathura Pranite. When I was taken to Mathura along with Balaram, Swafalkina by Akrura. So Mayi Anurakta Chitta Sukhaya Na Dadrishu. So these gopis, their hearts were completely attached to me, Mayi Anurakta Chitta, and their bhav was Vigada Bhavena. So this Ruda Bhava. So because of that, they had Viyoga Tivra Adhaya. So Adhi and Vyadhi. Vyadhi means bodily disease. Adhi means mental. So they had strong, powerful feeling of separation. It was like a mental sickness to them. And because of that, they could not see anything else which could pacify them. Anyam sukhaya na dadrishu. So this showing the mood of gopis in separation, because in separation the bhava becomes more excited. Our feelings, our emotions become more excited in separation than in union. So that is being described here. Tatrapi gopinam bhavasya sarvopari virajmanatva ramena iti chaturve. So in 4 verses, Sri Krishna explains how the bhav of the gopis is the topmost of all. Swafalkina krurena mayi mathuram prakarshena nite sati. So Akrura came and did the most cruel thing. It's called non-cruel. Akrura means not cruel. But he was cruel to the gopis. So he took Krishna and Balaram and Pranite means took them once for all. That is the meaning. Me matto anyam sukhaya dadrishu. So they did not find happiness in anything else. Because how can they find this is the meaning of Vigada Bhava. That there is absolutely no mixture. If there is some mixture, then something can pacify you. But if there is nothing, then nothing can help. There is absolutely nothing which can give them any solace. Because their mind is absolutely fixed on Krishna, nothing else. So this is the Vigada Bhava or Adhiruda Bhava. Seems like a very big problem. That no matter what you do, what you tell them, they are not pacified. So this is what it means that their life is Krishna. It is actually like that. So, yato anurakta chittaha. So they are completely anurakt. So anurakt he is translating as premna shashti bhumika. That this is the 6th state of prema, that anuraga. So prema, then sneha, man, pranaya, or you can change prema, pranaya, man, sneha, rag, anurag. So this is the meaning of anurakta chitta. And then it became more excited in separation, then it went to bhava, mahabhava. So yo anuragas tanmayi bhutani chittani yasham ta tatrapi vishishto gado bhava. So then it did not even stay at the state of anuraga, but went beyond that. So gada, vishishta gada bhava, thick, very very thick, like you are boiling the milk and then it becomes rubbery. So all the taral padarth is gone. So Vishishta Bhaga, Anuraga Uttar Bhumika Gato Mahabhav Bheda. So this is a variety of Mahabhav which comes after Anuraga. This is how he is seeing these words here. Tena hetuna viyoge sati tivra adhir yashamta. So because of that, this rude bhava or this mahabhava, they have very intense mental agony. It was very painful to them. Atra dadrishur iti bhuta nirshadeshad adhuna tu danta vaktra vadhante maya sah sanyukta eva vartante iti dyodita. So there is something extra he pulls out from the verb dadrishu. Dadrishu means they did not, nadadrishu means they did not see anything else which could console them, pacify them. So Krishna is speaking, where is he speaking this? He is speaking it in Dwarka to Uddhava just before he is leaving. These people have already been killed, fighting with each other, his family members. So he is using past tense. He should use present because he is still there in Dwarka and Gopis are in Vrindavan. So instead of Dadrishu, he should have used what? Drishyamana or Pashyamana. So why he is not using present and he is using past? So he says this shows that Krishna is with them now in the Prakat Leela. And that's why past tense has been used. People say that Bhāgavatam is written by different authors, this, that. When you see how meticulously the words are used and how this philosophy fits so perfectly, you cannot say that it is written by this person, that person, this added, that added. Person who is writing, he knows what he is doing, each word. That's why each word they give explanation. That's why Siddha, Jiva Goswami is applying Siddha in one way, he is applying. It's not that chalo chalta hai, no problem. No. Every word is important. So just this Dadrishu is saying that Krishna actually is with gopis now. So they are no more in separation. They are in union. And this is where it fits that after killing Dantavaktra, Krishna came to Vraj, stayed here for 2 months with the gopis, and then he closed the pastimes of Vraj. And everybody became aprakat. And then he went to Dwarka. So then they are not in separation and he is still in Dwarka. So he is manifest there and manifest here.
But Babaji, here the description is in Viyoga. So he's telling, the Drishu he is using for them in present tense that they did not see anything and get happiness.
Yeah, past, not present.
Sorry, past tense, because they did not see anything and get. Okay.
Means
So my point is, okay, he's telling that is something that happened, so he's there with them now. It was before.
yeah.
Dantavakra and Krishna folding his pastimes of Vrindavan, it happened after the meeting of Kurukshetra, right? It's mentioned in
Obvious. Yeah, after.
I mean, it's mentioned in Bhagavatam somewhere that he, closed his pastimes of Vrindavan. It's not explicitly mentioned in Bhagavatam.
It's not mentioned explicitly. That's why I'm saying that they're deriving this from such words. Tasta kshapa preshta tamena nita maya eva vrindavan gocharena chanardhavatta punarangatasam hina maya kalpa sama babhuvuhu. So this is also verse showing their state of separation, as well as how they were when Krishna was with them. So how they felt in union and how they felt in separation. This is being described here. And at the same time the symptom of Mahabhav is also described here. So it says Tatast Shapa Preshta Tamena Nita Maya Eva Vrindavan Gocharena Chanardhavat. That those particular nights when Krishna was with them, he was visible in Vrindavan Gocharena, and he was their most beloved, Preshta Tamena. So that time passed like a moment. All those nights, they passed just like a moment. Kshanardhavat, even half a moment. But the same nights, tapuna rangatasam hina maya kalpa samabhavu. The same very nights which passed in union like a moment now became as long as a kalpa in separation from me. So it's also the characteristic of Mahabharata. So kalpasya kshanata yoge viyoge tad viparaya. This is an Ujjwal Nilmani giving kalpasya kshanata yoge. That one kalpa appears like a moment in union, and viyoge tad viparaya. And when there is a separation, there is opposite, means one moment appears like a kalpa. So when you are suffering, time becomes very slow. When you are happy, time runs fast. So iti premnah saptamya bhumikaya mahabhav bhedasya rud bhavasya lakshanam sarvato vilakshanam darshayati. So he says this is the seventh state of prema, which is distinct from all other definitions, vilakshana, of prema. That is being described here. This is Rudha Bhava. Tasta iti maya saha rasa kshapa brahma ratri parimitapi kshanardhavat yabhirnita. So he says all those nights, they were just like momentary, although those nights were like the night of Brahma. So those nights of Ras Leela. Tasam maya vrindavan gocharene vrindavasana sthene. So this is when gopis were with Krishna in Vrindavan. Athacha vrindavane gobhi sahacharta. So Vrindavan gocharene has two meanings. One meaning is gochar means to perceive, that Vrindavan gocharene means when he was seen in Vrindavan. Gochar also means when he was tending the cows. So both meanings. Gobhi sahacharta. Hinastakshapa prahar chatushtaya parimitapi yapaitum ashakyatvat kalpair bhavisama. But in separation, those very nights which were just for prahara, so then it became like a kalpa. Bhavisama, many kalpas, not even one. Kalpa sama babhu. ताना विदन्मयि अनुसंगबद्धधिया स्वमात्मानं अधस्तथेदं यथा समाधौ मुनियोऽब्धितो ये नद्य प्रविष्टा इव नाम रूपे. So this sloka now also describes the aprakata lila, that how from prakat to aprakat, how it appears. So it says ta na avidan mai anusanga baddha dhiya. So their mind, which was completely fixated on me, so they did not know themselves or this or that. Ada idam swam atmanam ada tatha idam. So now he is saying they did not know this or that, prakat or aprakat. So this difference was not known because they are absorbed in bhakti or union with Krishna, anusanga baddha dhiya, so they could not differentiate that how suddenly from prakat they have entered into aprakat. So they could not differentiate. So it did not appear to them that they were in Baumlila and now they have just went from this to that, but for them it continued like that, as if nothing. So he says, Yatha samadho muniyo abdhito ye yamadhya pravishtaiva namarupe. It's like the sage who is situated in samadhi, or the sages, or the rivers when they enter into the ocean, so their nam and rupa cannot be distinguished. So mohadhiya bhavepi sarva vismarnam iti vigad bhavasya aparamapi anubhavam ujjwal nilmani uktam darshayati. So he says even when there is no moha, there is no bewilderment, but still there is all forgetfulness. Generally when you are bewildered, you confused, you lose your memory. See, they are not in moha, but still sarvismarnam. So this is also the characteristic of vigad bhava or mahabhava. Vigad bhava se aparamapi anubhavam. This is the effect of that mahabhava described in Ujjal Nilmani. Mai anusangene nitram sangene. So they were intensely united with me. Baddha dhiyo yabhi. So their dhi, their intelligence was tied to me. Atra baddha padene krishnasya trijagan mohan vichitra nila stambhatvam anusangasya balvad damatvam dhivrittinam krishna vanchita sampadaka kamadhenu ghatatvam aropitam. So this is very interesting. Anusanga baddha dhiya. So baddha means bound. Anusanga, mai anusanga. So he says that Krishna is like a what you call pillar, blue color pillar. And the gopis, dhivrittis, the states of mind, they are tied to that rope. So Trijagan Mohan Vichitra Neela Stambha. This is a blue pillar which attracts all the three worlds. And anusangasya balvat damatvam. The anusanga is like powerful rope. And dhivrittinam, and the states of mind, they are like the kamadhenu, wish fulfilling cows, which fulfill the desire of Krishna. Because wish fulfilling cows, they fulfill your wish. So Krishna is the one who is willing, and their dhivrittis are the cows, because whatever he wants, they supply that. Means their dhivrittis are so much attached or tuned, they are so much in attunement with Krishna that whatever he likes, they do only that. Because there is nothing for themselves, there is no other mixture there. So therefore their dhivrittis, their mental states are like the wish-fulfilling cows. Swamatmanam deham navidu.
What is the meaning of ghatatvam?
Ghata means many.
Many.
Ghata means group. Swamatmanam deham navidu. So they did not have any awareness about their own bodies. Ras abhisarado kva sthitam kvava yantam na sandado. So we are in the ras, or we have to go in the ras, where to go, and with whom to go, where is situated, where they are situated, then they were lost. Tatha adha parlokam dharma atikramadi iti bhava. And they did not bother about the parloka, that what we are doing is irreligious or not, we will be spoiling our future birth. They did not bother about that. Idam imam lokam lajja bhayadi atikramat. And they did not care for this world also. There was no shyness or fear, etc. Samadho muniya iti gives the example, it's just like the sages in the state of samadhi. Tesam yatha sarva vismarne brahmanubhavo atirichyate. So he says, just as they forget everything, but they have experience only of Brahman. Tatha etesham madanubhava iti sarvismarnanse dishtanta. So like that, gopis have experience of Parabrahma, Krishna, and they forgot everything else. So this forgetfulness is not out of some disease or some delusion or anything like that, but out of intense love for Krishna. So natu prapyanse gopi prapya prem muni prapya nirvanayor aho mahadevantar. But he says example is only yatha muniyo abdhitoye. This example is only in the sense of forgetfulness and not the goal attained. The goal which the munis attain is not same as which gopis attained. That is a vast difference between them. So example is not in its complete sense, but only partly applicable. Yasman mamatva mamate tayo. Because one is based on mamatva, gopis' attachment to Krishna, absorption to Krishna is in mamatva. And the yogis, their attachment is in renunciation. So that is amamata. तथाई सर्वसंताप निवर्तकात् परमालादकात् दृश्यमानात् चंद्रादपि सकाशात् सर्वगुणहीनोपि दृश्यमाने पतिपुत्रादिको यत् सुखमधिकं दत्ते तत्र ममता एव यदि कारणं तदा किं पुनः सर्वगुणमण्डिते स्वभावादेव निरवधिक सुखप्रदे श्रीकृष्णे परब्रह्मणि निरवधिका एव ममता सुखाधिक्य कारणं भक्तानाम अतएव उक्तम. So he says that the cause of happiness in this material world is only mamata, asakti, attachment. The way you feel happiness here in the material world is only if you have some attachment to something. If you don't have attachment, it doesn't give you happiness. So he says that somebody has husband or children, pati putradiko. So chandradapi sakashat sarvagunhinopi. So the moon takes away your santapa, all your suffering of heat in the daytime, and it gives you happiness, and it is visible. But even if somebody has some son or husband or wife, they may not have any good qualities, but because there is mamatva in them, they get more happiness from that relation than the happiness you get from the moon. So he says, then how much is the extent of happiness which gopis have from Krishna, which is full of mamata, and Krishna has all the wonderful qualities. Sarvagun mandite, swabhava eva niravadhik sukprate. He is endowed with all good qualities, and he naturally has happiness. He is happiness personified. So therefore the mamata in Krishna is without any limit, and therefore happiness is also without any limit. So therefore it says Brahmanando bhave desha cheta parardha gunikrita neti bhakti sukham bodhe paramanu tulamapi. The happiness of the sages, the Brahmananda, even if it is multiplied by parardha, it cannot compare to one drop of happiness from the ocean of bhakti. ब्रह्म च भक्तेषु आसक्तं तद्वश्यं च मुनिषु तु नैवासक्तं न तद्वश्यं च. So Krishna is also attached to his devotees and controlled by them. Brahman does not become attached to the Gyanis, nor he becomes controlled by them. Brahman doesn't even know these are Gyanis. He doesn't care. No matter how much you meditate on him. Nadyo yadha abditoye pravishta nam rupe sviyena viduriti rascharonan se drishtanta. He said just like the rivers, when they enter into the ocean, they forget about their name and form. So he says this is an example of experience of rasa. What happens when you experience rasa? Sattodrekada khanda, swaprakasha ananda chinmaya, vedyanta vasparsa sunyat, brahmaswad sahodara. So that is.
Just small thing here. You have Shri Krishna Parabrahmani Niravadike eva Mamata Sukhadikya or Sudhadikya hai. Sudhadikya.
Mamata Sukha Adhikya Karanam. Niravadhika eva Mamata Sukhadikya Karanam. Sandeep.
Pranam Babaji Maharaj. So I have two questions. One is about this verse. So they state what they are saying that they forgot about themselves. Gopis forgot even themselves, their names, forms, everything they forgot. Even they forgot about the time, place, circumstance, everything, because they didn't even know from Pragat they went to Apragat. So my question is this state only possible in prema, because like in the medical experience one never comes across any situation or this one that where one forgets oneself. And the second part of it is that is it only in a relation with a person that this kind of experience can happen?
No, I mean you can also forget because of some disease. It's not that. But that's why it says that mohadi abhave api. Remember it says mohadi abhave api sarva vishmaranam. That they forgot everything, but not because of some moha, because of some sickness. Moha adi. You can also get Alzheimer and forget everything. So it's not that.
Okay, so it is specific to this spiritual state in prema.
Yeah.
So my second question was regarding this verse 10. There it was said that Anurag is the highest state. But in Priti Sandarbha, like Jiva Goswami describes Pranay, Man, etc. in the end of Priti Sandarbha, not. So I think he describes about Anurag in the very beginning. So I'm not able to understand if it is the highest state.
Highest state is Mahabhav, not Anurag. He did not say this is the highest, he said this is the sixth. In the commentary he said sixth.
This is the sixth level of prema.
Yeah, Premana Sasti Bhumika, Yo Anuraga. Anuraga is the sixth state of Prema.
So in Priti Sandarbha, this state is not, because I think Jiva Goswami completes at Man or Pranay.
मान तुम्हारा प्रश्न क्या है यार, स्पष्ट बोलो ना, तुम क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो?
अनुराग के बारे में उन्होंने बताया ही नहीं है क्या, मतलब जीव को बात है अपना प्रीति संदर्भ में?
क्यों नहीं बताया? सब बताया, पढ़ो, दोबारा खोल के देखो. It's described there. अनुराग भाव प्रेम स्नेह मान सब है. Everything is described. Moini.
say that it is complete unmixed with anything else. Why this bhava is only possible in the form of gopis? Because since it is a bhava, anyone should be able to have that mindset. Why only the gopis in Vrindavan can have that bhava?
Because they are the only one who are not mixed. If you can be mixed, unmixed somewhere else, you can also have, but it is not. Bhushan.
Obviously, I'm having a little difficulty understanding the forgetfulness. My understanding is that the more awareness one has, or the more emotional involvement one has, the more one remembers. And when one is absent-minded, then there is forgetfulness. At least, so this kind of forgetfulness, where does it? How is it? They are like super aware of every minute detail while doing seva to Sri Krishna. So where does this forgetfulness come from?
Forgetfulness of what? That you have to understand. Forgetfulness of things other than Krishna.
Okay, I see, okay. So, okay.
Can you please explain the last line of this commentary once again? Brahma cha bhakteshu asaktam tadvashyam cha munishu tu na ev asaktam na tadvashyam cha iti nadyo yathabditoya pravishta nam rupe sviya.
Tadvasyam cha iti, stop there. Don't run after that. This is one part. And the rest is other part.
So, what is the meaning? I could not get. Brahma
What is that you cannot get? Brahmacha bhaktesu asaktam. Brahma is attached to the devotees. And tadvasyam cha is also controlled by them. Munishu tu naiva asaktam, but he is not attached to the sages and not controlled by them. इसमें क्या समझ नहीं आ रहा?
So, okay, because in the last verse, which just before this, which is quoted, Brahmanando bhavedesha chet parat guna gunikrita na eti bhakti
अरे
sukam.
प्रश्न पूछो यार, वो श्लोक तो मैं भी देख रहा हूँ. क्या प्रश्न क्या है?
वहाँ पे ब्रह्म का मीनिंग वो ब्रह्म ले रहे हैं जो मुक्ति पाना चाहते हैं, और यहाँ पे ब्रह्म का मीनिंग वो
तो
भगवान
कृष्ण भी ब्रह्म है ना, पर ब्रह्म है वो. He is also पर ब्रह्म.
एक लाइन में वो मीनिंग चेंज कर दिया तो वो बड़ा अजीब सा
तो
लगा.
थोड़ी बुद्धि भी लगाओ यार तुम. क्या है, अभी तुम बच्चे थोड़ी हो कि तुमको चम्मच से च्यवनप्राश चटाते रहेंगे. यहाँ तक you have come up to the 11th canto reading, so you have to have your own little pragya also. That he is using Brahma, it has to be applied both ways. So when it is with Bhakta, it is Krishna. When it is with Muni, it is Nirakar Brahma. Simple.
And Babaji, एक और क्वेश्चन था regarding verse number 8 only, when he is glossing the word Kevalen. So Kevalen he is glossing as Gyan Karma Adi Amishren Nishkamen Bhaven. But अगर हम केवल का ये मीनिंग लेते हैं तो इसमें जैसे हमने भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु की चर्चा में डिस्कस किया था, तो बाकी हनुमान प्रहलाद आदि भी सब आ जाते हैं, क्योंकि वो भी कर्म आदि से, कर्म योग आदि से मिश्रित नहीं है और वो भी उनकी भक्ति भी निष्काम है. तो यहाँ पे मतलब इसमें स्पेशल क्या है? केवल जिस तरीके से ये एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं केवल शब्द को, उसमें तो गोपियों का कुछ विलक्षणता दिखता नहीं है.
क्यों नहीं दिखता? क्योंकि राम भक्त हैं, नरसिंह भक्त हैं, उनका भी तो प्रीति होती है नहीं होती? होती है नहीं होती?
उनकी भी कर्म आदि मतलब ज्ञान कर्म से परे उनकी प्रीति होती है, उनसे मिश्रित नहीं होती.
किसने कहा? पहल रहे ऐसे ही.
आपने जब भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु की चर्चा हो रही थी, आपने कहा था कि उनकी भक्ति भी जो है ये शुद्धा भक्ति में आती है. ये शुद्धा
भक्ति तो बहुत प्रकार की है. शांत रति भी शुद्धा भक्ति है. उत्तमा भक्ति, when Rupa Goswami is defining Uttama Bhakti, then he is defining 5 types of bhav. So there only Sringar Ras is Uttama Bhakti, others are not Uttama Bhakti.
Yeah, so Babaji, that's what I'm saying. When we discussed this is a definition of Uttama Bhakti, Kevalan, Gyan Karmadiya Mishrena and Nishkamen, Anukula Krishna Shilanam. So there we discussed that in the definition of Uttama Bhakti, even Prahlad and Hanuman, they also come. Not only the Brajvasis, not only the Braj Bhakti. So here also I am saying in this definition, which is almost similar to the definition of Uttama Bhakti, what Shri Rupa Goswami gives. So here also Hanuman and other devotees can also fit in this Kevalan
So Uttama
definition.
Bhakti is primarily in Vraja. You should know this by now. Outside Vraja it is always mixture. Because Aishwarya is there. So once you have Aishwarya, Gyan, then Priti becomes Sankuchita. This is everybody's experience here in the material world also.
That part is understood, Babaji.
So that part you have to understand. So this is what is saying, that it is not mixed with anything. This is exactly what he is saying.
So Gyan here means Aishwarya Gyan.
ऐश्वर्य ज्ञान का क्या मिलता है? ऐश्वर्य ज्ञान is also there, and ज्ञान also means moksha. Karma means what? Happiness,
Desire
swarga.
for fruitive, desire for...
Yeah, so there is no inkling of that. There is no mixture of that. That is why he is talking about this. ये कौन है? Who is this RR?
Yeah, Pranam Babaji, can you hear me?
Yes, I don't see you, but I hear you.
Thank you, Babaji. We touched upon the concept of mamatva during this discourse. Is it fair and appropriate to conclude that mamatva in relation to Krishna is perfection, whereas all others it tends to be a cause of attachment and binding?
Yeah, mamatva in relationship with Krishna or Krishna, Vishnu, any Vishnu Tattva, any transcendental person is cause of freedom, and mamatva with anything else other than that is bondage. That's all.
Thank you, Babaji.
Okay.